Greetings from Yogyakarta. Welcome to the last session of online fall program Virtual Ethnography. Hi, my name is Vania Sharleen. You can call me Vania. And today I will be a facilitator and I will deliver my lecture about visual ethnography and journalism and social media. So today we will discuss about 3 keywords here, or perhaps we have 4 keywords. We have visual itself, we have ethnography, we have journalism, and also we have social media. Because this is the last video that you are going to watch, so I believe that others mentors or maybe you guys already know about what ethnography is. And ethnography itself, I just want to make sure that we are on the same page. Ethnography itself is a study and interpretation of social organization and cultures in everyday life. So guys, when we are talking about ethnography, we're also talking about our society that is changing through culture. Our society also changing through technology and so on and so forth. So if we spoke about the changing society or the changing technology, so we also have to rethinking several layers of ethnography. So far, we have reflexive ethnography, gendered, embodied, visual, digital, sensory, and so forth. And today we are going to discuss focus and specific to visual ethnography. And you guys also has been focused for a month talking about visual ethnography in this online phone program. As a human, yeah, I believe you guys are a human. Otherwise, you are a bot. So, we are 90% visual beings. And the fact that 90% of the information absorbed by our brain is visual, while other animals, such as maybe dog, are characterized by the sense of smell and maybe hearing sense in the case of bats. So, the human is undoubtedly a visual being. You and I are a visual being. And guys, research at 3M Corporation conclude that we process visuals 60,000 times faster than text. So, image are the easiest things to remember by our brain. And since we are visual by nature, we can use also visual ethnography to enhance data and for the processing and also as a research method. So we will continue about the explanation of visual ethnography. Before we are going further to the explanation of visual ethnography and we will discuss further, I want give an example to you guys. So on your screen, there are two different pictures. The left one is a news talking about the generation since baby boomers until alpha. And also you can scan the barcode if you want to read the whole article. And the right one, the number 2, is an infographic. If this two you see on your screen, I have a question. Which one do you prefer to read first? The right one, right? The number 2. Yeah. I just want to make sure that we are 90% visual beings, and reading an infographic which is contain a visual thing is easiest to remember and also to process by our brain. So when we see the visual thing, it's 60,000 faster than we read the text. Even though the text, the two text number one and number two is written in bahasa. I just want to make sure you don't understand the language, but you still choose with the news with the picture. So we are going further to the explanation about visual ethnography. So, what is visual ethnography? Visual ethnography is a research-based methodology when the research is conducted using photography, film, or video. And visual ethnography involves an approach that engages with audiovisual media and method throughout it processes of research, analysis, and also representation. So it's a whole package. So, you are, if we are discussing about visual ethnography, we have to read a book written by Sarah Ping. I guess you guys also heard about her before in another lecture. So, Sarah Ping, through her book, Doing Ethnography, Images, Media, and Representation in Research, provide the reader with an explanation of an innovative and interesting ethnographic method. So, Ping suggests that her book is not a recipe for visual method, but more inductive manner. She offers visual method in the context of current research. Sarah Ping has a solid contribution to qualitative research in an era increasing interest in images, both traditional and also digital. So guys, Sarah Ping provides a contemporary look into how the arrangement between photography, video, and also hypermedia, along with ethnography, has the potential to provide a greater understanding of social phenomena. So, according to Pink, visual ethnography is a research methodology that brings theory and also practice of visual approaches to learning and knowing about the world and communicating this to others. So, this is a visual theory or also practice, and this is approaches to learn, and also how we deliver or communicate the finding or the research to others. So guys, one of the major secular trends of our time is that the world is increasingly becoming visual, as evidenced by the rise of visual platform, which we will discuss later. Society across the world is abandoning text and letting pictures and videos do the talking. So we speak with video and also with pictures. If you are using social messaging, like for instance WhatsApp or maybe Line, on etc., we also use emoji or meme or emoticon. So we let the picture speaks for us, and also visuals are often more concise and more effective units of communication. And ethnographies frequently use participant-generated photographs to explore perspective of those involved, enabling them to speak, quote unquote, to speak through images. And when we talk about visual, especially specifically visual ethnography in this era, well, I mean industry 4.0 to 5.0, we cannot separate it with visual ethnography. I believe that the visual and the virtual share many similarities, and we can combine it, especially when we talk about VE in social media. As Bourdieu said, the photography is very much a social technology, as that image are typically created with the intention of sharing. And now we can see people post their picture in social media, for instance, in Instagram account, in their Instagram account. And so, why should we talk about a social media specifically? Firstly, we need to have a paradigm shift. We need to shift the agenda from academic research to applied ethnography and to public ethnography. And it requires new ways of engaging with research participant and audience. Related to point number one. Secondly, because we are now living in the era of Gen Z and also Alpha generation and so forth. So goodbye Generation Y and goodbye millennials. Now member of Gen Z, Generation Z. Yeah, maybe loosely people born from 1995 until 2010, and they are truly digital native. And from earliest youth, they have been exposed to the internet. Maybe since kid, they are born as a digital native. So they have been exposed to the internet and to social networks and also to the mobile systems. So now I think this is going to be important to speak about how visual ethnography work in social media and also in journalism. We will move forward to the next discussion. We are going to talk about VE and social media. Talking about VE in social media. So this is an interesting part for me because I also social media enthusiast, and maybe I use most of my times playing or maybe scrolling the social media and also make content in Instagram, and also now I learned how to play TikTok. So guys, social media ethnography is a good example because it brings new route to knowledge which are specifically open up through online or offline engagement. If we are talking about visual ethnography and social media, we might know ethnography maybe, but we are not talking specifically about ethnography in today's session. We are talking about how social media is involved in visual ethnography. So guys, based on Global Web Index research, 30% of people use social media to share photo or videos with others. Now you are going to watch a clip and I will continue the lecture.
And nothing hurts anymore, I feel kinda free. We're still the kids we used to be. I put my hand on the stove to see if I still bleed. And nothing hurts anymore, I feel kinda free. We're still the kids we used to be. I put my hand on the stove to see if I still bleed. And nothing hurts anymore, I feel kinda free. You said hey, I said hello, how was your day? You said better now with a smile. What a cliche, but to be honest, it made my day. I didn't want to I stepped right in. I looked up at your face and those eyes, they drew me in. It was too late for me, and that's what we were, a simple cliche. It wasn't made to work, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Any other way.
I see the crystal raindrops fall, and the beauty of it all is when the sun comes shining through to make those rainbows in my mind. When I think of you sometime, and I want to spend some time with you, just the two of us. We can make it if we try, just the two of us. Just the two of us, building castles in the sky. Just
I used to hear a simple song that was until you came along. Now in its place is something new. I hear it when I look at you.
Hey, call me back when you get this, when you got a minute. We really need to talk. Wait, you know what? Maybe just forget it, 'cause by the time you get this, your number might be blocked. A melody, you and I. Tell me all your secrets, you know I'm gonna keep them. Flying so high. Hey, seek and follow the truth. I got you, boy. Yeah. Say that you love me, I cried for you.
Yeah, you guys already watch a video. It's a TikTok trend, a day in my life. You can search in your TikTok apps, a day in my life, or maybe you can search it on YouTube, a compilation of a day in my life. So, guys, a day in my life is basically it's becoming a trend nowadays in situation of pandemic because we don't have much opportunity to go out and meet with our friends, and somehow a day in my life is yeah picturing our society in a stressful situation which we are like living in a cage, and it's become hype because everyone want to show or says to others that hey guys, I'm still living, so now so this is my daily routine. So this is interesting because a day in my life is not a video, it's not an aesthetic video that produced by people in social media. It's like kind of journaling, but not through a text, but through a video, and also using some music. And it's really hype because it's like everybody make the video in during this pandemic era. I think the day in my life, it's not going to becoming this hype if we are not living in this pandemic situation. So basically, it's not an aesthetic video, but it's picturing our society, and it's representing something that society wants to tell us. So this is the beauty of the visual ethnography through social media, because everybody can make a video, everybody can be a content creator, and they are not only viewers, or not only people just watch or view, but they are a self content creator, and somehow uh, this is quite interesting because they produce video by their self, and they are picturing their self, and this is the new phenomenon because people are becoming more open, so they're not will be privacy anymore. So yeah, and when we are talking about visual ethnography in social media, the key concern of this contemporary visual research is not the beauty or the techniques of video making or photograph making, or the caption, or yeah, but uh, what is that makes social media photography or videography is so important, because I think that you guys maybe already know, or maybe when you watch a video and I ask a question, what do you think about the video, and you already answer in the Slido, you can see that the importance of the video is not a video itself, but how the message is delivered through the video, and why they choose this music instead of other music, why they shoot this angle. They want to represent or show their feelings, the message through the video. They want to tell something what happened in their life on their daily basis, and they want to make it as a memory, not only for themselves but also for others who watch the video. So this is makes the social media is important because they also can share the video in real life. So they doesn't need to send to their friend, but once the video is posted, everyone around the world, no matter where they are or no matter how the time of them, everyone can watch the video, their video, and somehow this is can be going viral because the easy way to use or to produce the video. So as a ethnographer, we can use this video as our source to like to analyze, and we will get a point. We can see what's going on in our society nowadays. So the key concern is we have to look not the beauty of the video, but what behind the video, what someone want to share their value or their message to the audience. And now everyone can be a creator, content creator. So visual ethnography in social media on one way that everyone can share their story, so we don't have to like asking them a question, or maybe they will answer by verbal, but we can also can see them through their video. And a day in my life is just one of the example, and you can also search other video in YouTube. It's also have a daily vlog, and it's also becoming hype, and you can search in your social media platform, and you can learn, you can analyze, and maybe you can contact them if you want, because Instagram or maybe TikTok, they have a direct message. You just click their profile, and you can contact and interact with them directly. So this is interesting because in one hand you can see the video of them, and you can also make contact with them through a message, and you can going deeper, and maybe you can interview or in-depth interview with them. So this is quite interesting how visual ethnography is also can conduct through social media. Before we continue our discussion of the topics today, I want you guys to watch a video. I already attached the video. You can just watch it. This is a video of Hannah. She is a Filipinos, and she will share her story about how she doing visual journal as a visual journalist, and through her history living in Philippines. Enjoy.
Photography is a way of listening, not just with your ears, but with your eyes, with your heart, with your entire being. It's my way of putting a face to the statistics. It's my way of asking questions. Photography's been my language.
I grew up in the messy bits of Manila, in a house with about a dozen people. The confines of my world were within the four corners of that home. You take care of other people in order to take care of your own loved ones at home. To me, that's very central to being Filipino. I wasn't really allowed to go out that much because there was a lot of crime. Photography became a window to the outside world. It would become the window that I would climb out of. The deeper I go into the work, the more I realize that it won't really let you escape to anything. Photography is almost this confrontation. You have to be there to take that picture, and you have to be fully present. I came up in a time where photography was really going digital. I could see these great works and great canons, but I would see it from the broken screen of my cell phone or, whatever shitty laptop screen I had. And I could imagine that there might be space for my work there too. Over the past few years, the images that have been coming out of the Philippines have been very bloody and very violent. The narratives can become incredibly simplified, but it's very important to be able to show the complexity when something incredibly violent happens in a neighborhood. How does care look like in those spaces? And I was very curious about what life looked like amidst all the death. I wanted to understand what form resilience took. I felt that that was still missing from the conversation. It allowed me to understand the situation from the eyes of those closest to it too. When the big typhoons hit, women and girls wind up being displaced into the sex trade in the Philippines. Many of these women who've lost their homes were now taking shelter in these brothels, trying to rebuild their homes quite literally with their bodies. We met this woman, Jojo. She said one night with a foreigner might be able to afford you hollow blocks for your house. Another night might help you replace the roof. People prey upon vulnerability. A lot of them are mothers, and they have to provide for their children. There's not a lot of ways in which you can create opportunities for yourself, no matter how intelligent you are, no matter how hard you work. The last thing I want is to further harm someone by portraying them in a way that is not honoring all the sacrifices that they've been through. You have to honor their path as they are letting you into their space and into their lives. If you are in the jails in Manila, you are every day being tortured. I can still smell the jail. When you enter that space as a woman, it's truly like an assault to the senses. There's no space for yourself. Sometimes you have to wait 6 to 8 months for a sentence that is max 2 months. You come into that story with a lot of fear. The authorities were saying I was too much of a liability because I was a woman. We're not equipped to help you should a situation arise. But I was not worried so much about my own safety because of how I was being treated by everybody around me. This work really shows you what hospitality might look like from people who have nothing and who are at the most dire of situations and in the center of a lot of true injustice.
As the enemy's bombs continue to explode, civilians scatter.
November 1944, Japanese soldiers marched into the town of Mapanique, Pampanga. They pillaged the town. They castrated some of the men and the boys. And then they rounded up the young girls. Dozens of them were marched into this red house where they were held and they were repeatedly raped for days.
When I woke up, I cannot remember anything. I just look at my eyes were blood.
In the 1990s, a group of these women gathered together and they decided to tell their stories, demanding some sort of justice. And they haven't gotten anything yet. Of the approximately 90 women who came out, 27 of them are still alive. They also still live within a few kilometers from the house where they were held. And most of them have to go back and see it all the time, you know, when they're just going through their day. The house where they were held is now overgrown with vines. A lot of them are growing gardens above this land that is laced with trauma. Roots from Ashes is really about how they rebuilt their town. What they went through isn't at all being honored in terms of history. It's being actively pushed aside. I wanted to understand intergenerational trauma, and I found that interaction with these grandmothers to be truly one of the more formative moments, not necessarily in photography, but just in myself as a person and in understanding my own history and in understanding the history of what really happened past what we learn in school. Because they are still alive and they are still carrying those stories. Marta and Apolinar, she's one of the Malaya Lolas. I took a portrait of her with a mosquito net behind her and her husband behind the mosquito net. She was talking about how it was traumatizing for him too, but how he supported her in that moment. I hold on to that picture a lot because I just remember how she walked with so much grace and so much kindness amidst all of these things that happened to her. She really embodied something that always felt out of reach to me, that I was always trying to grasp for but couldn't quite hold. I had always defined myself when I was younger in opposition to beauty. I was a dark Filipino kid in a society that values light-skinned women. A lot of my colleagues in the industry are like, why are you diluting like your body of serious work with something like beauty? What are you doing in Fashion Week? That made me even more curious about it. I was asking people what beauty meant to them and how they defined beauty. And what I realized as I worked on the story was that beauty was just really a touch point for so many other things. I spoke with this transgender model, Koi Tan, who told me that for her, beauty was an armor. It literally shields her from physical violence. Joannie Johnson began modeling when she was in her 60s. She grew up during the civil rights movement, and she seemed so sure of herself, of who she was and what she stood for. She wasn't trying to be anybody else. I witnessed beauty become this vehicle where people can assert themselves. But then I also witnessed people who are trying to reshape themselves for someone else. We live in an age where people want to show this model life, this perfection. You want people to have you as their hashtag goals, and that's just not ever what I want for myself, because I deeply see the gaps in where else I can grow. By the time I was done with it, so much of my own perspectives and my own unhealthy relationships with beauty just shattered. They helped me redefine what beauty meant for myself. The eagle hunters are in Bayan Olgi in Mongolia. They're Altai Kazakh nomads. They hunt foxes and wolves and rabbits with their eagle. We met hunters who felt like the eagle was their child. This tradition of hunting with eagles really connected people in a landscape that is nomadic. It truly enables these teenagers to get to know their heritage and to embody it with eagle in arm. It connects them to the generations that came before them and connects them to the land that they live in a world that's being transformed by technology. We went to document the Golden Eagle Festival. The contest is really about having the eagle hunter unite with the eagle through a call and through waving a piece of meat, usually rabbit. But when it happens, it's just so incredibly, it made me cry. For Zamanbol, the eagle embodies her grandfather. When he passed away, she inherited his eagles. He was the one who taught her how to train the eagle, how to whisper to the eagle and have the eagle come back to her. That story allowed me to understand different formats of what childhood and coming of age can look like. I was such an awkward teen. They were going out into the steppe in full gallop with their beautiful furs and an eagle. I was like, wow, that is a childhood. What I've always loved about photography is the visibility that it can give people. To see a certain issue that might not have a presence in their consciousness until a photograph enters. Photography has given me a way to raise my voice, to contend with the things that matter to me. And the more I do it, the more I realize how little I know and how limited my vantage point really is.
Okay, now we are move forward to the explanation of VE in journalism. When we talk about VE, visual ethnography in journalism, we have to talk about citizen journalism. So, the rise of citizen journalism, it's really something because we cannot 100% trust the mainstream media. So basically, citizen journalism can be maybe considered as an alternative form of news gathering and news reporting taking place outside of the traditional media structures, and which can involve everyone, literally everyone. Everybody can be a citizen journalist. And now we are living in the age of image consumption and also data absorb. And in this flow, we are not only recipients, we are not only viewers, being a viewers or audience, but now we are also a creators. We can create video or photo easily through our gadget, handphone, camera, and etc. And the liberation of information allows everybody, anyone to share and spread our personal experience of an event in real time. So, participatory reporting allows storytelling. This is important because by engaging the process of creating information, disseminating, and also consuming it, we could also argue that the the era of information has promoted citizens not only reporters, but also we are historians, in quote unquote, and we are making a moment matter. So you guys already watched a video about Hannah Reyes Morales. She is a Filipino, and she is making a moment matter about she share her story. So it's such as yeah, we can call it storytelling, and in a way she shared her story, and also she shared about what happened in Filipino while she was grow up and living in the situation of conflict, and she shares story that she cannot go outside easily, and the only thing that she can do is taking a picture of everything that happened around her. So it's also make her as becoming a historian, in quote unquote. So citizen journalism is also have a problem. So the problem visual ethnography through citizen journalism is accountability of the sources, which images can be adapted and used and reused according to specific agenda. So we can just shoot and we can upload it and someone can use it, cut it, and yeah, make a video based on their own agenda. So it's reframing the story, so everybody can use the video or the photo when we already uploaded on internet. So this is becoming a dilemmatic situation because we also have to know the accountability of the sources that we are use or we are read or watch. So such a question arises into the surface is how can we track the source, even though now it's already we have a lot of platform or website that can track the source of the video of or the photo, but still it's hard to know. It's not an easy thing to track the source, and also the question that rise when we are talking about visual ethnography, specifically through journalism, we also have a question how we credit amateur image. So this is kind of dilemmatic situation. On the one hand, we are easily to find video or photos and that picture the society or maybe the politics situation or maybe the society in daily basis. But on the other hand, we also have to rethinking or maybe consider about the ethics, about accountability of the sources, about how people uh, try to reframing the stories, specifically when it comes to political stance. You have to really consider it. So yeah, this is interesting, but we have to really careful if we want to do the visual ethnography through journalism. So guys, this is it, the end of my presentation. I don't want to give any conclusion. Instead, you guys have to read more about visual ethnography in social media and also journalism, because I only give you an example and a brief explanation about how visual ethnography works in the social media and also in visual ethnography. So guys, after this, you will gather in groups with a mentor, and I hope you will do a good project. Involve the social media use and also maybe the journalism. I will end this video, this lecture with tips maybe, the tips of successful visual ethnography project through social media and journalism. You must content or include this point, these 3 points. The first one is you can use popular culture or maybe everyday experiences. So you can picture daily base of our society. And the second one, you can produce a video or maybe a photo that can be appreciated by a wide range of viewers, because nowadays viewers matters. And the third, the last is a final product that you are going to make is must accepted by the participant, because when we're talking about ethnography, we're talking about the society, we're talking about the people. So the project is about them, and they have to accept our project that we make. So yeah, this is it. I think this is enough. I hope that you guys can understand something and get something about our discussion topics today. So good luck for your project. Hopefully we can see each other in person. I really look forward to your project. So thank you and bye.